Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. This one's a little bit different. I decided for this video that I would go ahead and just kind of show you guys the material, show you guys what I'm talking about instead of talking with you guys about it. I was still going to show you guys it while talking, but and you guys seeing my face, but I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Totally Aquarian. This is where I talk about astrology using my own empirical research as well as scientific researched research. I talk about astrology from a community-based oriented, and what I mean by that is that I talk about it in a way that we remember why we are learning about astrology, or at least for me, why I'm learning about astrology. And it's to welcome in the future, welcome in multidimensionality in a sense, and to remember that we are multidimensional beings looking at astrology from a multidimensional standpoint. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, then please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and engage with my videos. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys like, what you guys don't like, and welcome to the new video. So today's video is dream journaling for the 12th house beginner. I'm really excited for this video because I love dream journaling. I love journaling in general, and I see them as one and the same, whether it's dream journaling or regular journaling. And I have been journaling since, I was gonna say but I don't know how long yet. Since 2018, actually. I used to journal when I was younger, just like regular journal, but I stopped. But I picked it back up in 2018 after I did acid for the first time. And, you know, like I said in my last video, or I don't know if it was the last one, but in one of these videos, I said that I wanted to learn how to lucid dream, and that is why I started to dream journal. So I am going to briefly touch on lucid dreaming, but right now, like I said, this is for the 12th house beginner dream journaling. So whether it's for whether, it doesn't matter what type of dreamer you are. This is for the person who hasn't begun dream journaling, or if you just want to watch this video in general. So let's get started, why don't we? So first I want to start with showing you my very first dream journal. Okay, so this is my very first dream journal, and if you can see, it actually has the astrological it's the astrological wheel, but I believe this is the French, I don't know, it might be French or Roman, I'm not 1000% sure, but it has all of the signs and all of the phases of the moon, and yeah, I'm not too sure about the background. I looked it up once, but I don't remember. And I think there's probably some saints here. Again, I'm not sure. It's obviously the design is pretty old. But yeah, this is how it looks in the front. This is how it looks on the back. This is the spine. Y'all can see that, yeah. It's a Peter Popper press. And it also has, what are these called again? I don't know why I can't remember what they're called lately. And then here are the gold accents. A lot of my journals, I'm not even gonna say that because they really don't. Only this one, and I have another journal that has a gold accent. So believe it or not, this was my first dream journal, but this is not where I first recorded my dreams. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. So this is actually where I first recorded my dreams for the very first time. As you can see here, it says Scorpio season 2018 night dreams to Leo season 2019. So as we can see here, that's a long time. Right? And you know, I wanted to show you guys this because I don't want you guys to be discouraged when you're just starting. You know, because sometimes we can watch videos about how to do things for beginners, and people will show all that they have accomplished from being a beginner. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? fuck this shit, I'm out. You know what I mean? That's too much for me. But I want to show you guys just how simple and just how beginner level it really gets. Okay, like I started doing this in the back of a planner. I cut it out, well, ripped it out, as you can see, in the note section of a planner. Okay, and as you can see, it took me almost a year, Scorpio season to Leo season next year, to just fill up this, And let me tell you guys, I'm not gonna flip through it. However, even just having one word, I would write down one word. And this is not all filled up from every day. There are months missing, months missing, you guys, from some of these entries. Okay, just this whole entire dream journal, I don't know what to call this section alone, missing, months missing, weeks was missing, because that's how it is in the beginning, right? That's truly how it is. So yeah, this was actually where I first started writing my dreams. And then this book was the first ever dream journal that I had. Now, I was gonna show you guys a dream, but I didn't tab it out so I could show you guys. But I just wanted to say, like, some of these dreams in this journal, I literally wrote like one thing and then I went on to the next page. I would not recommend that. Okay, the reason why I would not recommend that is because you're wasting paper, right? There's no need to just write one thing and then go to the next page. If you write one thing here, you can do a line or just write the next day right under it, you know what I mean? And be able to really use the entire journal, the entire book. This book is my most one of the most empty out of all of the other dream journals, which I have here, which I may or may not show you guys. This is the most empty because of me doing that, which, you know, it is what it is. It, you know, it shows progress. It shows what I've been through. So this is my first dream journal. Now, I want to also show you guys some tools that I used while dream journaling, and I have 3 books that really helped me during the process. So I'm going to lay them out here. So the first one here is The 3-Pound Crystal Ball, How the Dreaming Brain Can See the Future by Louis Ferranti. The second book here is A Field to Lucid Dreaming, Mastering the Arts of One Aeronautics by Dylan Ducillo, Jared Zeisel, and Thomas Beisel. And then last but certainly not least, we have The Queen of Dreams. Sorry. All right, we have The Queen of Dreams, The Story of a Yaqui Dreaming Woman. This is by Heather Valencia and Raleigh Kent. So I would definitely suggest, and there's been many books in between, you know, before some of these, after some of these. But I wanted to show you guys these 3 mainly because they're the only ones that I have in my possession at this time. I had quite a bit of dream books in the past, but maybe another video I'll talk about it, but just there's some things that happened, and so I currently don't have them. But you know, these ones definitely stuck with me. This book, actually, A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming, I actually read in books, what was it, Barnes and Nobles. I basically kind of read it all the way through in Barnes and Noble, and then I bought it. So it was one of those books that I, you know, was just, you know, sometimes I go to the library and I'm just looking and seeing what books they have there, and I saw this one and I was just like, you know, obviously very intrigued, and, you know, I would just kind of flip through it, write some notes, take some pictures, stuff like that. And then I would go ahead and, you know, put it back, come back next week, you know, stuff like that. And then I finally bought it eventually. And it's kind of one of those books that I don't read. I kind of lend out. Sometimes I'll read it here and there, but it's one of those books you have on your bookshelf because, you know, you want it there, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about these 3 books. So we have the 3-Pound Crystal Ball. This book really is not only empirical research, but it's really more so empirical research about a man who spent quite some time in prison and was fascinated by dreams, and decided to research and write a book about how the dreaming brain can see into the future, basically about timelessness, about how time doesn't exist, about premonition, and whatnot. And I think it's a beautiful book because it has a lot of examples of events within the past of real world people, and also because of the way that it is written. It's written in a like you're a jury or something. Let me go back to how it is written, if I can show you guys. Okay, so basically it says, "You, dear reader, have been called for jury duty. I ask that you carefully weigh the evidence with an open mind before reaching a final verdict. Allow me to present my case." So actually, let me just read the whole thing because, okay. So it says, "But a good detective doesn't quit. In this book, I plan to gather evidence and prove that time has been guilty of committing fraud. To achieve this, I'll play the role of persecutor or prosecutor and treat my evidence as that which is normally presented in a court case. I'll begin with my own observational evidence and will, at times, call on Albert Einstein as a witness for my prosecution. I'll also subpoena Sigmund Freud, who may at first appear as a hostile witness, but I intend to break him down on cross-examination and draw him over to my side. You, dear reader, have been called for jury duty. I ask that you carefully weigh the evidence with an open mind before reaching a final verdict. Allow me to present my case." So it's really beautifully written, and I definitely recommend it for people who are beginner readers, and also people who don't quite yet kind of believe, if that makes. But this is for 12th housers. You guys are 12th housers, so you guys already know. But I definitely do recommend it. And also, being in mind, like I said, this really kind of formulated when he was in prison. And again, 12th housers have a lot. 12th house has a lot to do with what you already know. So very, very beautiful book. Let's go with Queen of Dreams. So the next book here that I have to show you guys is the Queen of Dreams. Okay, and this book is actually I believe an autobiography. Yeah, this is an autobiography about a woman who discovers the power of dreams and what that means in terms of love, especially, and community. Now that I'm thinking about it, I need to reread this. I need to reread this book. And wow, it is such a transformative book. She also talks about it's an autobiography. That's really all I can really say. And like I said, it talks about love. It also talks about past lives, and coming to who you are as an individual, coming to who she is as an individual. This is absolutely one of my favorite books in the entire world. And I'm presenting it to you guys because I think that if there's any of you guys that have like 8th house ruler in the 12th or 7th house ruler in the 12th, especially, or Libra in the 12th, which, as I've said before, they're not all the same, but in relation to love, in relation to relationship, I definitely think this is a beautiful book to have to kind of navigate those perhaps love dreams that you've already experienced in your life, especially as a woman, if you're a 12th houser and a woman. perfect, beautiful book. Okay. So, and last but not least, we have A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming, as I've already explained before. This book is really a field guide, if I'm being completely honest. You can really read it from any point up until absolutely any point. You do not have to go in order. And my favorite aspect of this book is not only the drawings, which I think are absolutely beautiful, but are also the accounts that people have shared with them of lucid dreaming. I think they are absolutely beautiful. And I'm actually going to share with you guys one. So here we have one that I just opened up to. So let's do this. We have twice within the last year, I performed a test within within a dream once. Wait. Twice within the last year, I performed a test within a dream. Once, I tried to fly to test whether it was a dream. I could not fly and decided it was real. Whoops. Next time, I tried to make my hand turn purple. I concentrated hard within the dream and it worked. I was excited to know it was a dream, but thought, now what? And the dream ended. Susan D. So very beautiful. I actually want to share with you guys one that really, one of my favorite ones that was shared here. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know where it is, but maybe I can show you. And it's throughout the book, you know, it's definitely throughout the book. But actually, you know what, because I can't find it, I'm just going to go straight here because I'm going to come back to this. This is the chapter that is a history of dreaming. The reason I'm going to get into why this is really important in the next part. Okay. All right. So here are some little notes, and I got a tarot card with me, some tarot cards. So as a 12th houser, and you know, remember, we're using astrology as kind of our base right now as we are beginning dream journaling, correct? So we do want to make sure that we are paying attention to the sign within the 12th house, okay, and also the rulership of that 12th house. The reason why the sign within the 12th house is so important is because you want to pay attention to the deities associated with that sign. You want to pay attention to symbolism. You want to pay attention to sign associations. Like, what is the sign on the cusp of your 12th house? What is it associated with? Okay. And I'm going to talk about this one just, you know, real quick. The reason why it's so important, like for me, as you guys know, I have Aquarius in the 12th house. And so what is Aquarius associated with? Well, we know it's associated with the future. It's associated with friends, with groups, with networks, right? We know that it's associated with the community at large. We know it's kind of associated with aliens and things not really I mean, I would say aliens is more Sag, but no. Aquarius, I mean, Sag is foreign, but Aquarius is like out of this world, okay? Which is, you know, different. Yeah, then what about the symbolism of Aquarius? So Aquarius is obviously ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is associated with lightning. It is, you know, it's the sky god. Okay, so that's also symbolism within that as well. Deities, again, I don't think Uranus was necessarily a deity. I think his name was Urania. I'm not 100% sure, or that was a woman. You know, at this point, you know, people say sky woman as well. That's very Native American cultures. I also have a book that I wanted to show you guys. It's about mythology in the I don't remember which Native American tribe, but a lot of not only Native American but also just ancient and spirituality says sky woman. You know, we all come from sky mother, okay, and so that's associated with Aquarius. Aquarius is the only sign in the zodiac that is represented by a human, although Virgo can also kind of get that rep as well, not gonna lie. I would say Aquarius and Virgo, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, and the reason why I have my tarot cards here, well, these are actually my sisters, but the reason why I have this here is because tarot cards are used in symbolism as well. And so, for example, okay, this isn't the only card associated with Aquarius. However, it is one of the main ones, okay, is the star card, okay? And, you know, the star card, this is the 17th card in the, is it 7? Yeah, this is the 17th card in the major arcana. 17 equals 8. And so you can even dissect the symbolism within this card, or within whatever star card you have within your tarot deck as well, right? If you think about what the stars mean, and you know, a lot of people are into star consciousness as well in relation to us being stars. I think I have a video on that as well. Same thing goes for the rulership of the 12th house. So the rulership of my 12th house, being that my 12th house in Aquarius is Uranus, but also I also look at Saturn, because Saturn is the traditional rulership of Aquarius. And so I have Saturn in Aries, okay? So as we see the rulership of Aries, there's the god of war, right? And so you can look at Aries, which I think is Roman or Greek. I honestly don't remember. You can look at, I would say angels is more associated with Aries as well. Aries energy, it's that like battle energy, somebody who's coming to, and not necessarily coming, but somebody who's defending, right? Symbols associated with Aries. Aries is more associated with the color red, right? Amongst other things. I think knives is associated with Aries as well. And, you know, sign associations. So like I said, Aries is associated with like war, aggression, your drive, your willpower. And in the Tarot, oh wow, I just split the deck and I got the Death card, which is associated with Scorpio. But in traditional astrology, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, okay? And so Mars within the sphere of Aries is more associated with a quick death, versus Scorpio being kind of like a slow death that has more so to do with maybe disease, you know, amongst other things. So I want to show you the card that's actually associated with Aries specifically. I'm sure you guys already know what it is. I'm trying to look for it. And this, like I said, this is not the only card associated with Aries. However, it's the major arcana that is associated with Aries, and that's the Emperor card. Okay, so the Emperor card has to deal with leadership, authority, right? Fatherhood, okay? So if you were wondering if I have a lot of dreams with my dad in them, I do. Okay, I have more dreams with my dad in them than my mom, which is interesting. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's because Aries, you know, is the ruler. Remember, astrology is basically, you know, like a different language for us to know ourselves. It's not the only one, okay? But I would say that there's definitely no coincidences, okay? And I would say, yeah, study like tarot associations or whatever associations, right, that you know. There's so many esoteric occult associations that you can gather to know more about what the sign in your 12th house and the rulership of that 12th house is. So I have two more cards, two more major arcanas that I want to show you guys that I associate with Aquarius and also Mars. Okay, so this one I associate more so with Uranus, if I'm being completely honest. And this one I associate with Mars, also Pluto. The reason why is because the Magician talks about willpower, and you know, what did we say about Mars? It does have a lot to do with willpower. Okay, the Tower, as it relates to Uranus, is it because of its flashes of insight. Okay, psychic ability is more so Uranian in general. Okay, premonitions, all of the clairs, clairsentient, clairvoyance, clairaudience is all Uranian in general. Okay, so what does that mean in relation to our dreams? Okay, so that means that when you have a dream, oh wait, okay, well, I'll just talk about that real quick. That means that when you have a dream, or maybe you have a premonition within the dream, yes, you want to write that down. Okay, now let's get back into this, because I wanted to kind of explain this a little bit. So different cultures are also associated with different signs. Now, I think that this is more so a personal, I know my lighting is a little bit, you know, but I'm using natural lighting right now. So this is a personal, what's the word? Um, a personal conclusion, if that makes sense. Okay, like for example, I associate Vikings with Mars, but maybe not everybody would agree, right? So it really depends on what you know, what you've studied, and what you resonate with. Okay, you know what I mean? Um, so it talks about different cultures here, and I think it's so beautiful how it talks about different cultures, because like I said, depending on what you have in your chart, for example, you can study a lot. I'm going to keep it here because the picture of Vishnu, you can use that, right? For example, if I'm studying about Vikings, if I'm I've had dreams with Viking themes, by the way. But what I'm saying is that you want to kind of immerse yourself in the world, especially as a 12th houser, right? Which is big on imagination, big on visualization, you know, big on the entire idea, the entire thing. You want to kind of immerse yourself into that world, okay? Because that's the sign over your 12th house, and that's going to make it easier to be able to dissect certain themes within your dreams, okay? So that's why I'm saying, like, for example, if you guys don't already work with deities, but let's say you want to work with a certain deity that has something to do with you're trying to get a certain maybe trying to do a little bit more dream journaling, right? And like I said, I have Saturn in Aries, so let's say I would work with Viking deities specifically for that, okay? With Aquarius, like I said, Sky Mother, okay? Or any deity associated with intelligence as well, okay? And I think, nope, not even gonna go there. So, and I've had to come to that conclusion myself, right? Because there are some people that would say, why would you work with a Viking deity and you are not, you're not Scandinavian, or you're not from, but as a 12th houser, I'm just going to leave it there because y'all already know, okay? Y'all already know that a lot of spirituality, spiritual texts, a lot of, spiritual texts are very associated with, although they are associated with different cultures, the 12th house is, again, beyond culture. Culture is Sagittarius, okay? It's ninth house. Ninth house is your culture. Sagittarius is cultures, okay? We're talking about 12th house matters here. So, for example, one just came into my mind. If you have like, let me think, would it be Libra, or I would associate it more with Taurus, because Taurus is more associated with Earth. Like if you have Taurus in the 12th house, maybe you want to work with Oshun. Okay, because Taurus has to do with fertility. Let's go over here to the cards again. I don't even remember seeing the Emperor. Oh, here she is. Here's the Empress card. So if you have Taurus in the 12th house, or perhaps the rulership of your 12th house is in Taurus, perhaps you want to work with Oshun, right? Okay, it's very important to know deities and symbolism, because they're gonna come in your dream. And as a 12th houser, it doesn't matter what culture you're in. A lot of people, they don't want to pay attention to certain people that come into their dreams just because they're not in their culture. They don't trust other culture deities, and they feel like it's a lack of loyalty and all of these things. But anywho, you want to pay attention to that. So I'm actually going to show you guys one of my favorite dream journals that I have. All of my dream journals are honestly my favorite, but this one has to be my ultimate favorite because my best friend in the entire world gifted me this. And over here it says, believe that the most beautiful thing is worth waiting and the sweetest fruit needs patience. Obviously, as you can tell, I took a lot of notes within this dream. This is within this journal. This is when I really started to dream journal heavily, was in the middle dates of this journal. As you can see, there are gold accents here, and we have two, what, bookmarks? Sure, bookmarks here, which I think is fabulous. And every time that I used to carry this around, because sometimes I do dream analysis like out and about, people would always ask me like, is that a Bible? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, actually it is. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite. I actually really want to share a dream with you guys before I go. Like, what's my most 12th house dream that I have ever had? I'm trying to want to show you guys. I just looked at one. I guess I'll show it to you guys. But I want to, I don't feel like I need to cross out her name. I'll do this. Okay. All right. So this is when I was working at a very enchanted, what's it called? Place. And I was having like dreams every night about the job that I was working at. It was honestly it was very new to me because I've worked at a lot of places since I've started dream journaling, and never really had a ton of dreams about a place like while I was working there or even after. It would be like, you know, every once in a while, obviously, but nothing to the point of me being like, this is weird. Now, this place that I'm working at, that I was working at during this time that I'm about to read this dream about, I was having dreams, I kid you not, you guys, like every other night, if not every night, I was in this place. Okay. And like I said, it was a very enchanted place. And I don't just say that because I was having dreams about this place every night. I say it because I was on the land, I was on the property. And I'm just going to tell you guys what I did. I was working at a wedding venue. So you take that with what you will. All right. So we assemble in front of the chapel. I also place 2 full/empty water bottles on each side. Speaking of water bottles, let me drink some water. Awesome. I poured in both sand tubes. So if you guys don't know, sometimes when people get married, they'll have 2 sand tubes and they'll have it in different colors, or they'll have one full of sand, one empty, and they'll pour the sand. No, actually, usually it's 2. I don't remember. It's been a while. And then they'll both pour it into one, meaning, you know, talking about the union. So pour it into, then I'm just going to read it and then I'll talk about it after. Then realized that the couple is supposed to do that, so I threw it onto the land. Holly came by. She had a white scarf on her head, and I drew a little picture like the pharaohs. I updated her on the events, then walked back to the stable. I almost took out my ear pierce, but remembered that it is daytime. Mirka from the Eternals, the movie, as a mermaid, Druig was also there. So this is also a dream where I become lucid. So I wrote down lucid here. Walking down steps with a woman, her face kept shifting, but I thought she resembled Beyonce. I asked if all of my lucid adventures prior to this are fake. She says no, but my inner voice says yes. We enter a theater. The entrance has red curtains. The design around is whimsical with trees and reminds me of preschool. Well, of my preschool specifically. I am in awe. There are rows of chairs, 3 to be exact, or 2. I see Jelani with his shoes off in row 3, empty seat beside him. I sit in the row in front of him. He eventually notices me, and we hug, touch hands while still seated. So like we hugged like kind of like this. Yeah. Presentation on the pineal gland by a man had different figures around. And I think this was like one of the figures that was there. I'm gonna skip this is somebody's name. Michael Jackson, he is on set and I see him from a distance, close enough but not directly on the set. I am passing through. This is an email from church. Okay, let me just read the rest off because I don't know. About a trip, I'm viewing a live stream of worship in a much smaller venue. I noticed the pictures on the wall. One is of yoga or meditation. Another is the beginning construction of the place. And the third is two of my friends and I at another location at the church in meditation, the picture that they use in their emails. So let me come back here. All right, so obviously this entry is when I became more immersed within dream journaling. Okay, and I knew what to write. I knew how to, really pick things apart. Okay, so the first thing that if I was doing a dream analysis, what I would pay attention to, right? Because it's also about looking back at your dream journals, days, years, whatever, looking back at them and kind of trying to figure out or noticing like, what does this have to do with today, or what does this have to do with whatever it is that I'm searching for? So the first thing I notice is the me pouring the sand. Okay, also Holly with the scarf that looks like a pharaoh. Okay, obviously also the lucid dreaming part, her face morphing, my dream about my lucid dreams, us having a presentation, which is, all of these are really super important. Okay, this maybe not so much, but also super important as well. So let's talk about why this is important. So a lot of people have celebrities in their dreams. Remember, well, I don't know if you guys know, but according to, at least, online, Michael Jackson was a Pisces rising. Okay, so that means that he also would have Aquarius in the 12th house in whole signs. So that is important because Michael Jackson was really looked at as a deity. A lot of people think he's Archangel Michael. Another story for another day. Okay, obviously, as an Aquarius, you want to pay attention to the people who are coming up into your dreams and what they are associated with. So, we have another name in here. This is somebody that I knew, and he actually was really into music, producing music. And as we see here, there are two entertainers named, as well as, this person that I knew who also wanted to be an entertainer. Okay, Makari in the Eternals, she is hard of hearing, right? And so obviously there's love between Makari and Druig within the Eternals, which was the best part of that entire freaking movie. And then the part about church is important, but that's obviously a very personal thing of why it's important. So I can't really like explain that because you guys won't get it. I mean, maybe you guys will. You guys are 12th housers, so like, but I'm just gonna keep that to myself. So I would suggest, and I'm gonna bring back my first, just to wrap it up, I'm gonna bring back my first dream journal. Okay, so again, pay attention to any deities, any symbolisms, and any sign associations. I cannot, reiterate that enough. This is the most important thing as a 12th houser to pay attention to. If you have a sign in the 12th house that is ruled by a modern planet, like Aquarius, so Aquarius, Pisces, and Scorpio, then do what feels right. I would say do both the modern and the traditional rulership. If you are into nakshatras, if you know about sidereal astrology, pay attention to the nakshatra of the rulership of your 12th house. So for example, for me, my 12th house in Vedic astrology is Capricorn, rulership is Saturn, and my Saturn is in Revati. So I would pay attention to that, okay? I would also say, a lot of people say pay attention to Ketu Nakshatra as well, and I definitely agree with that. Back to tropical, pay attention to also when the moon is transiting your 12th house. Put it here. You want to pay attention to the moon transits to the 12th house. This is going to be, I would say this is also super, super important because you want to pay attention to what is being brought up during those times. Okay. Now, depending on when these dreams become or reveal themselves to you, you also want to pay attention to the moon sign that is transiting over that time. So let's say you have a dream that happens during an Aries moon, and let's say you don't even have Aries contacts to your 12th house, or rulership of the 12th house, whatever, right? And you notice that, like, maybe you have to notice these patterns. Okay, you have to notice patterns. And so after a while you start to notice, oh, every time it's an Aries moon, I always become lucid, or I become lucid easier on an Aries moon, or I just noticed that I have these types of dreams on an Aries moon. Then you do want to pay attention to that as well. I would say pay attention to moon transits, pay attention to south node transits as well, but definitely moon. Okay, and again, it might not be so specific, like every time. For example, for me, every time the moon is in Aquarius is not when I have some kind of profound dream, or every time the moon is in Aries is not when I have some kind of profound dream, but it is something that you do want to pay attention to, at least for the beginning, if that is your case. I would say maybe Cancers. Cancers also would have close Cancer placements. Cancer risings, Cancer 12th house probably would have a better, process, I guess, with paying attention to moon transits to the 12th house. So I think that's all, you guys. That's all I have to share. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope that you guys had a blast learning about not only my dream journey, but also uncovering yours if you haven't yet started. And if you have, that's awesome. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But especially comment, that's one of the best things, I would say. Don't forget to engage. I just really had fun making this video, and perhaps I'll come back and make some more about dreams. So bye.